Okay, so have you ever gotten an email and you're like, wait a minute, this doesn't seem quite right?
Oh, absolutely. It happens all the time.
Yeah, and it's like that moment where you're about to click and then something just stops you. That, my friend, is cybersecurity in action.
It really is. It's that gut feeling, that awareness that something's not quite right.
It is. And, forget those images of hackers in dark rooms. The biggest vulnerability these days.
It's us.
It's us, our own inboxes, clicking on things we shouldn't. So that's why we're doing this deep dive, right? Cybersecurity awareness training. It's not just for the techies anymore, it's for everyone.
Absolutely. And the research you sent over, eye-opening. We need to really break this down for people.
We do, because it's not just about knowing how to code or anything like that, right? It's about understanding the risks we face just living our lives online.
And those risks, man, they're evolving faster than ever. Think about it. We're working remotely, storing everything in the cloud. It's convenient.
Oh, incredibly convenient.
Yeah. But it also creates like a whole new playground for these cyber criminals.
Yeah, because more places to access, more places to potentially mess up. Right. And you mentioned human error earlier. It's not just, forgetting your password on a Monday morning, although that's frustrating enough.
Right.
It's those moments of distraction.
Exactly. It's the accidental clicks.
Hmm.
It's those too good to be true offers. And, in the moment, you're like, oh, this could be it.
$10 million sign you up.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And those moments, those seemingly small slip-ups, they can have huge consequences. We throw around the term data breach all the time, but what does that actually mean for everyday people? It's your photos, your financial info, those messages you thought were private,
Oh, gosh.
gone,
All gone.
stolen because someone clicked the wrong link. And for businesses, it's even worse. It's not just about the data itself, it's the financial blow. The legal fees, rebuilding their reputation, it can take years to recover from something like that.
It's almost like, someone breaking into your house, but it's not just stealing your stuff. They're burning it down on their way out.
It's a powerful way to put it. It really is that damaging. Yeah. And here's the thing. On top of all that, there are so many industries now that have these really strict regulations about data security.
Oh, yeah.
Healthcare, they have HIPAA protecting your medical records, finance, GLBA for your bank accounts, and then there's FISMA, making sure the government is keeping your data secure.
Right. It's serious stuff.
It is. And those regulations, they have teeth.
Big teeth.
Huge penalties if you don't comply. So this cybersecurity awareness training, it's not just a good idea. In many cases, it's the law.
It is the law. So it really sounds like we all need to be digitally fluent in self-defense these days.
It's essential.
It is essential. But what does that even look like? What exactly is covered in this type of training?
Well, a good cybersecurity training, it's like giving you a crash course in spotting those digital red flags.
Yeah.
And it starts with understanding the enemy.
Okay, so who are we up against?
Well, think about phishing attacks. Those tricky emails designed to steal your information. And honestly, they can be really convincing. It could be an email that looks like it's from a colleague asking for access to a document.
Oh, I get this all the time.
Or maybe it's your bank asking you to update your password.
Ooh, those update your password emails. Those are the worst.
I know, right? And then there's malware and ransomware. That's a whole other beast. This is where things get even sneakier, because we're talking about malicious software disguised as something harmless. You might download a file thinking it's fine, maybe a picture or something.
Oh, look, kittens.
Exactly. But then, boom, it locks down your entire computer, holds your data hostage.
It's like digital kidnapping, essentially.
That's a good way to put it. It really is. And then let's not forget about social engineering.
Oh, that just sounds manipulative.
It is, and that's why it's so effective. They prey on human psychology, manipulating you into giving up sensitive information. Think about it. Someone calls you, sounds really official, says they're from IT, needs your password to fix a problem.
Oh, and you're just trying to be helpful.
Exactly. You're trying to be helpful, so you let your guard down, and bam, they've got you.
Yeah.
And it's not just on the phone either. It can happen through text messages, social media, you name it.
It really makes you realize anyone could fall for this stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like you let your guard down for a second.
Which is why this training is so important.
Right, because it's not just about knowing the threats, it's about knowing how to fight back. So let's get practical. What are the self-defense moves, the digital kung fu we need to master?
Okay, well, first off, strong passwords.
Oh.
I know, everyone says it, but
It's true.
it's true for a reason. And it's not just about having a password, it's about having a strong password. Think about it this way. Would you use the same key for your house, your car, Your safety deposit box.
Not if I could help it. Although I will admit there was a time in college when maybe I wasn't as careful with my passwords as I should have been.
I've all been there. But the point is, in the digital world, your passwords are your keys. You got to treat them like they're valuable.
So unique and strong passwords for everything. Got it. What else?
Safe browsing habits.
Okay.
And this sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people, they're cautious in the real world, but online, they're clicking on anything.
Because it doesn't feel real in the same way.
Exactly. But those sketchy websites, those links from who knows where, those can be just as dangerous as, wandering down a dark alley.
More dangerous, maybe, because at least in a dark alley, you can see where you're going.
That's a good point. And don't even get me started on software updates.
Oh, those are the worst. Always popping up at the worst possible time.
Right. But they're there for a reason. They're like the vaccines of the digital world. They protect you from all those nasty bugs and viruses. So
Update those computers, people. Okay, so we've covered passwords, we've covered browsing safely. What about all the data we're creating and sharing every day? Emails, downloads, all that stuff.
yeah, data handling is huge. So if you're like this, you wouldn't just leave your diary open on a park bench, would you?
Not unless I was trying to get on a reality show.
Exactly. So be mindful of what you're sharing, where you're sharing it. Use encrypted communication whenever possible. That's like sending your information in a locked vault.
Makes sense. So it's like being a good digital citizen.
Exactly. Be aware of your surroundings, follow the rules of the road, and don't take unnecessary risks.
Okay, so we've got the basics, strong passwords, safe browsing, careful data handling. But let's be real, even the most cautious person can slip up. So what happens if, despite our best efforts, we think we might have clicked on something we shouldn't have?
All right, well, first of all, don't panic.
Easier said than done sometimes.
I know, but freaking out isn't going to help. This is where that cybersecurity training really kicks in, because you'll know exactly what to do, who to contact within your organization, the procedures for reporting suspicious activity, how to respond in the moment. Even something as simple as isolating a compromised device, like disconnecting it from the network, that can make a huge difference.
It's like knowing to call 911. You might freeze up in the moment, but if you have that number memorized, it could save your life. Speaking of lifesavers, how is cybersecurity awareness training itself evolving? Because, let's be honest, no one wants to sit through a boring lecture about passwords and phishing.
Oh, tell me about it. Those days are long gone, thankfully. The future of cybersecurity training, it's engaging, dare I say, even fun?
Fun? Did you just say fun and cybersecurity training in the same sentence? I got to hear more about this.
Okay, so imagine interactive modules, real-world scenario simulations that put you right there in the moment. You're not just reading about phishing attacks, you're actually presented with one. You have to use your judgment to decide if it's legit or not.
So it's like those choose your own adventure books we loved as kids.
Exactly. But instead of navigating a haunted house, you're navigating the treacherous terrain of the internet. And you know what else is shaking things up? Gamification.
Gamification, like turning cybersecurity training into a game.
Exactly. Think about earning points for completing modules, competing with your colleagues in cybersecurity quizzes, even virtual badges for spotting phishing attempts.
Okay, I have to admit that does sound kind of fun, but the digital landscape is constantly changing. How do we keep our skills sharp? Make sure our defenses are always up to date.
Well, just like you wouldn't expect to ace a test by studying just once, right? Cybersecurity requires that continuous learning. Regular refresher courses are key. They reinforce the basics, introduce new threats and trends, keep your skills fresh. It's a journey, not a destination.
I'm sensing a theme here. And speaking of journeys, not all journeys are created equal. Shouldn't cybersecurity training reflect that?
Absolutely. One-size-fits-all training, that's so yesterday. The future is personalized training, tailored to your specific role, your department, your level of risk. Exactly, because let's face it, the risks for someone in marketing, they're going to be different than someone in finance, right?
Right, totally different worlds.
So why should their training be the same? And this is where it gets really cool, because we're talking AI-powered platforms that actually track your progress, figure out your strengths and weaknesses.
So it's like having a personal trainer, but for cybersecurity. Sign me up.
Right. No more like generic presentations that put you to sleep.
Oh.
This is about personalized learning. You struggle with phishing emails, boom, The platform hits you with extra modules on spotting those scams. You're a password pro but need a refresher on data handling. No problem. The AI adjusts, gives you exactly what you need.
Okay, so it's like constantly leveling up your defenses.
Exactly, and it doesn't stop there. There's also this thing called behavioral analytics, which sounds kind of Big Brother-ish, I know, but
Yeah, a little bit. Is it like tracking every move I make online?
not exactly. Think of it more like a digital guardian angel looking out for you. It's analyzing network activity in real time, not to spy on you, but to catch those risky behaviors before they turn into a major problem.
Okay, so less Big Brother, more like big friendly giant, keeping an eye on things.
Exactly. Let's say you're about to click on a suspicious link, or maybe you try to use a weak password. The system, it flags it instantly, gives you that little nudge like, hey, maybe rethink that.
It's like a digital safety net, except hopefully less embarrassing than actually falling.
Exactly. And the best part? All this is happening behind the scenes. You don't even have to think about it.
Love that. Seamless cybersecurity. What else is on the horizon? Anything that's like really going to blow our minds?
Oh, absolutely. Virtual reality, augmented reality, they're about to completely revolutionize cybersecurity training. We're talking immersive simulations, so real, you can practically taste them.
Wait, so instead of just reading about a data breach, I could be in a virtual world experiencing it firsthand.
Think of it like those flight simulators pilots use. But instead of learning to fly a plane, you're learning to navigate the digital world safely. It's about giving you that hands-on experience, building your confidence, so when you encounter these threats in the real world, you're ready.
Wow, talk about a workout for your digital defenses. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about the threats, the training, the tech that's changing the game. Before we wrap things up, let's bring it back to the main point. Why does all this matter?
It matters because cybersecurity, it's not just an IT issue anymore. It's everyone's responsibility. From the CEO to the intern, we all have a role to play in keeping our data safe.
And it all starts with awareness, right? The more we know about the threats, the better equipped we are to avoid them.
Absolutely. And thankfully, cybersecurity training, it's not what it used to be. It's engaging, it's personalized, it's even, dare I say it again, fun.
It is. We've gone from those boring lectures to interactive simulations, gamified learning. It's like cybersecurity training has finally entered the 21st century.
It has. And as these technologies continue to evolve, the key is to move beyond that checklist mentality.
Yeah.
We need to foster a culture of cybersecurity where everyone feels empowered to be part of the solution.
Because ultimately it's about all of us working together to create a safer, more secure digital world, right?
That's it. That's the heart of it.
And on that note of shared responsibility and digital empowerment, we're going to wrap up this deep dive. Remember, knowledge is power, vigilance is key, and a healthy dose of skepticism never hurt anyone. Stay curious, stay safe, and we'll catch you on the next episode of The Deep Dive.